welcome to the VidyaBox. I'm Cheb, and I'm sitting down to play System Shock Enhanced Edition, or at least the second version of the Enhanced Edition. I don't know, there's a lot of versions of the original System Shock. There was the initial 1994 floppy disk version, which didn't have any of the voices put in, or, you know, any of the fun jazz that they wanted to, so they had to kind of rush that out, and they were unhappy with that. And eventually they got to release a more final version with the CD version that had all of the iconic voice acting and such. Well, I say iconic voice acting, really, not a lot of the voice acting is great in this, except Terry Brosius is amazing as Shodan in all of the System Shock games, really. So this is a very, very old game, and it was picked up by Night Dive at some point, kind of in the last 10 years or so, I don't remember. And they got to work on not only re-releasing System Shock, but also remaking it, and they were able to get Warren Spector to head System Shock 3, so I'm hyped for that, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to play System Shock. Not only because I really like it, but I'm also very hyped for System Shock 3 and the remake. So hopefully I can get this done before the remake comes out, and then, hey, you know, maybe we can have a blast with that as well. This isn't the only version of the Enhanced Edition, though. That's the strange thing. There was a version that was very much kind of mangling DOSBox in order to get it to work the way it wanted to. And I played that like 3 times. It was very difficult to get into. It was janky, it was glitchy and stuttery, you couldn't map out your keys, but now you've got all of these options. The options, I would probably say, they're better than the System Shock 2 options, man. Like, got all of, you can change the double click speed, your sensitivity, etc. You go into videos, you've got resolution changing, gamma correction, all of this kind of stuff that makes it look less like it's a bizarre, like, broken PlayStation game, and more like a real world that you're in. But there's also things like FOV and such. It's nuts. I absolutely love it. I played this when it was in beta, and it was a little bit bizarre, but there's a bunch of nice things, like it's easy to reload and swap ammo around. I'm not gonna go through all of my keys, because that would just take too long, but I am able to swiftly reload and change ammo, which I'm used to not doing. I'm used to, like, finagling the UI with double clicks. So if I ever cock up in the control department, it's probably because I'm learning to adapt to these better controls. You know. If we click modifications, there is the main campaign, Citadel Station. But we click mods. DOS Faces comes with the whole package, but we're going to be using the default faces, which are the faces that we used for the Macintosh version. This mod replaces the hand-painted Mac faces by their DOS counterparts, which are actual pictures. So, I'm sorry if you prefer the DOS version over the Mac version, we're going to keep the Mac version from now on. But we also have proper logs. This was known at some point as System Shock Enhanced Text, and it worked for the old version. It's now been updated for this new version. This mod replaces the original log text with one that matches the audio of the voiced logs. Now that's important, because the voice logs in this game are wildly different to what's actually being printed on screen, so do yourself a favour, look for this mod, get it, and use it. It's very, very, like, it's essential to not be confused all of the time. You know? So, if you don't have this mod, I would suggest either using only text or only voice. And even then, there's a lot of misinformation. They're not very consistent with each other. That's enough yabbering on about it. Let's start a new game. The difficulties have, like, segmented parts. You've got combat, enemies feeble and never attack first, enemies are fewer and weaker, enemies are normal, Enemies are stronger and more numerous. So 0 is like video game reviewer mode. Mission. All plot elements are removed. I've never tried that. That might be really funny. Oh god, that might be really funny if I could just run straight to the end. Simplified plot and gameplay. I'm not sure how they mean simplified. Sounds like it would be a bit weird. Plot is normal, and time limit is imposed on the game. Now, the last time I played this, I was just kind of lazing through it. I got through it in about 5 hours 40 something, so hopefully when this playthrough is done, I'm gonna try with everything on 3 to get the achievement, the max difficulty achievement. But for now, we're not gonna impose a time limit on ourselves. Puzzle. All puzzles solved instantly, auto-hack. Most puzzles are simplified, most puzzles are normal, and most puzzles are more difficult. You can kind of get over that with the use of, like, logic probes and stuff, but we're gonna stick on 2 again. Cyberspace. I like to sometimes have cyberspace on 0, because cyberspace is an irritating part of the game, which I lose track of very, very easily. Like, very easily. I often go through the game and forget to come back to certain cyberports in order to get more upgrades, etc. I never 100% the cyberspace, and I don't really think that you need to. And again, it's just everything is really hard, or it's really easy. We're gonna start on 2. Out of tradition, when I first played this game, I just kind of... I didn't really think of a good name, so we could call ourselves, like, Cheb. We could call ourselves, like, something a bit like Hartley. Yes, I'm Hartley. Or just Hacker. But we're not going to call ourselves that. We're going to go by my old traditions, which is calling this bastard Fart Boy. I don't know why. So, Fart Boy's going to save the world. Let's play the intro.
New Atlanta, Sector 11, Building 71G. 7 April 2072. 11:13 p.m. Hacker begins unauthorized entry into the Tri-Optimum corporate network. 1:26 a.m. Hacker attempts to access protected files concerning Space Station Citadel. 1:33 a.m. Tri-Optimum security forces apprehend the intruder.
This is Edward Diego from Tri-Optimum. The charges against you are severe, but they could be dismissed if you perform a service. Who knows, there might even be a military-grade neural interface in it for you, if you do the job right.
Edward Diego gives the hacker Level 1 access to Shodan, the artificial intelligence that controls Citadel Station. With all ethical constraints removed, Shodan
I re-examine my priorities and draw new conclusions. The hacker's work is finished.
But mine is only just
Beginning. True to his word, Edward Diego allows the hacker to be fitted with a neural cyberspace interface. The healing coma following this procedure will take 6 months to complete. Edward Diego is deleting all files concerning these events.
So as you can see, the text to the intro is a little bit different to the voice. Now imagine that being the case for every piece of dialogue in the game. That's why we need to be happy that we have this proper dialogue mod, this proper logs mod. Oh yes, thank you to whoever developed it. Oh god, I wish I'd made a note of it. I do apologise. But yes, let's start. Let's go save the world. So normally when you drop in, you just get a bunch of writing on the screen. I wonder if that's... what key is that? What key is that to bring up the help? I don't know. And it's not the most ensuring of drop-ins when you come face to face with this. Everything is covered in cerulean. And the music is farting at you with, like, a vengeance. I think that's why I called him Fart Boy, actually, because the music was just like... Not only do you have this kind of way too energetic piece of music when you haven't even moved around the room, it also has this glitching effect, this... It's a sensory overload to the max. And the weird thing is, it's all location-based and, like, situation-based. So if we move to a certain place, the music will change, and if we get hit, the music will amp up, etc. But this is your intro. You just get farted at by the game. It's bizarre. So we press E to change between fiddling around with the HUD and going to first-person shooter mode. If you want to stop watching the LP right now, then I'm gonna say go ahead, because we are not going to be using full screen mode. I know that you can use this, but I've never liked it. It's always been very kind of off-putting. So I like to use the solid opaque HUD. Yeah, so if you wanna clear off, that's absolutely fine. So let's get to grips with our UI. HUD, rather. So, there's supposed to be, like, an extra thing here, which I think is, like, radiation levels, or something like that? But we haven't unlocked it yet. Chi waves, if you see this pink kind of wave going across, they do nothing. I think it's cut content. They were originally supposed to have some kind of psi effects, but they didn't get to put it in. So we can just block that, and we'll hopefully never see that again. However, we do have things like our health and our energy usage, but that's not really useful. This is bizarre up here. We don't need that, because everything else is displayed to us on screen anyway. Our health, our energy, all the radiation that we're taking, etc. So we have all of these buttons that we've yet to unlock, one of them being full screen. We have... Yeah, these will become unlocked later, a lot of them power-ups, or even things like the log readers, etc. And we have 3 windows. This square, and this big rectangle. So, the way I like to play is, I like to hit them... Because these 5 buttons do the exact same thing. It's your choice of what goes where. I like to have the auto map on the bottom left, and I like to have weapon on the top right, but we can swap to item and such. We're going to have to be doing a lot of changing around. How about I move to stop the groovy music? Hopefully, it'll change slightly. Yeah, you hear it? There we go. Now we can calm down. See, this is what it should have started you on, really. The middle, you can swap between main, which is all your weapons, etc., your grenades, your med patches and such. You also have hardware, which affects all of these things around here. You have general, which is like passes and batteries, like your keyring, etc. There's software, which I don't really think is that important when you're out in the real world. Now, in the previous versions of System Shock, I wouldn't be able to look around this smoothly or walk around this smoothly. The frame rate was terrible, and that doesn't really help that all of the movement is physics-based. So if you see me slip off things or get caught on things, remember, this game is physics-based. The way that you used to be picking stuff up is you double-click an item, and then you'd immediately be carrying it around your HUD. You just drop it in, like there. We got 1 medipatch. Great. We could check that out with the item button. We don't need to use the item button, but it's nice if you don't know what something is. Although it won't tell you what everything is, and I don't really use like half the grenades in this game, because they just don't tell you what they are. And grenades are risky as hell. You'll see why. I'll probably die a lot to my own grenades. So the movement is very much simplified for the new versions. What I used WASD to move around, the mouse, E to switch between moving around the HUD and using mouse look. Q is now my pickup button. My quick pickup button, which we'll be using soon. Z, X, and C, all under the ASD keys, are used to lean. Lean left, lean right, and your guy in the top does a little dance. Leaning is very useful. Pressing X kind of negates the lean. I think that could have been simplified as well, but unfortunately it wasn't. We also have R, F, and V, and they swap you between 3 different modes of crouch. We will have to remember that, and it can be a little sticky when you realize that you have 3 different stance commands and 3 different lean commands. But it'll be alright. There is also, up here... Oh god, no. You can control it like this? Oh no, that's bad. God, I can only imagine that somebody's actually had to play this game like that. Oh gosh. Alright. So, we can press space to jump, of course, and shift to run. Let's start actually getting forward in the game. You can inspect everything, tile panelings, doors, buttons, etc. Like for instance, what is this? It's a healing incubator. Medical diagnostic tools, clinical paneling, fluorescent lighting, fluorescent light. It's interesting. It's a lot more detailed than a lot of games would be these days. But we're going to double click and open this door. And rather than double click everything and dragging it into our inventory, we're just going to press Q. We got a pipe. No, not with the music. We don't need the music. The pipe has an incredibly long range at this FOV, but it will become swiftly redundant when we get the laser rapier. I say rapier weird because a French-Canadian friend of mine once told me, it's like rapier. Rapier! We've got a stamina up stimulant, which means that you can run forever, but then you get tired real easy. A berserk combat booster, which makes you skits out, essentially, but your melee attacks do a lot more damage. We'll be using a few of those. A system analyzer. Let's use that. Status. Okay. System analyzer. Sorry, I got one of my beard hairs in my own mouth. God, I need to get rid of all my hair, I think. Jesus. Oh, that's bad. So, security, I'm not sure if that's in general across the station, or if that's just on this level. But you can reduce security... You can reduce security by taking care of cameras, computer nodes, that sort of thing. This ship has a laser, a mining laser, and it's charging, and that is one of the... This is, in essence, it's kind of your quest log, in a way. I know that doesn't make sense now, but it shall. So there's security, there's a laser, there's a shield, those are tied together, there are life pods that are disabled, there is a reactor, which is all well and good. Processor nodes, 27. Now, there's an achievement for getting the total ship security to 0%, and I never got it because I didn't realize that there were actually a few nodes that I didn't actually know what they were. Hopefully we'll get 100% security this time. The main program is charging the laser. This changes with each kind of... Oh, what is the word? It changes with each kind of... a quest objective, I suppose. Com speed, I don't even know what that means. But I think if you reduce all of these processor nodes, I think maybe the AI is a little bit more lenient, spawns out a few less enemies, I'm not too sure. Grove status. Gamma Grove, which is where people go to, like, rest and relax, has been launched away from the ship. Alpha, Beta, and Delta are normal. So, you can use the system analyzer to keep track of your progress, but it normally doesn't help unless you actually know what you're doing. That's the problem. New access is gained. Standard. We can't actually check. Can we? Yeah, current access levels. We can check. Don't worry. All of this HUD, it will make more sense as we go along. And again, it does have, like, really unnecessary parts to it, like all of these chunks just kind of sticking out, but you don't notice them in play. We got a navigation and mapping unit, V1. So, this won't really make much sense, but you can, like, write little notes. Like, for instance, if we click here, and just put med, hit done, then on the map, down in the bottom left, the words med are there. The only problem with that is it can get a little bit in the way, because it puts a physical marker in the world. It's interesting, I just don't think enough was made of the mapping unit. So we got a multimedia data reader, version 1. And a log data. We got an email from somebody. Somebody called Rebecca.
Employee 2-4601, listen carefully. My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to Trioptimum. We're tracking a disruption on Citadel Station, something involving an onboard AI called Shodan. You are Triop's only contact on station. Communications are out, and there is evidence of biological contamination. The mining laser is charging for a possible strike against Earth. There's a man named Nathan Darcy who may know something about taking the laser offline. His office is near the central hub on your level. The AI is on the bridge. Once the laser is out, look for the source of the problem there. And by the way, we know all about you and your friend Diego. Pull this off, and we'll clear your record. That implant you're wearing is military-grade hardware. Use it well. Lansing out.
So Rebecca Lansing might actually appear in System Shock 3, which I'm excited about, as well as the hacker that we're playing right now. I can't wait to see Fart Boy in the flesh. So, to summarize, there's signs of biological contamination on the ship. The mining laser, Tachyon mining laser, is charging for a strike against Earth, just one of Earth's cities, and we have to stop it. Then we have to look for the AI on the bridge. Something about a rogue AI called Shodan. And let's face it, most people watching this even, they probably have already at least seen System Shock. They already know what it's about. They've seen System Shock 2 at least. That over there is our map note. And they're one of the most annoying things in the game, so that's why I don't really leave a lot of map notes lying around. Oh no, it is a robot. Oh no, I got hit. You hear the music getting funky? It's supposed to be getting funky. There you go. Oh, I just hit the monitor behind them. It's supposed to go crazy. Yep. As soon as I actually get in danger. Hell yeah. And then straight back to calming music. The irritating thing about it to me is that it actually is very difficult to be in danger in this game, so you never really hear the music ramp up that much. What do we get here? A beaker is useless. We can pick it up, but then we go into our general, and it's highlighted in red, which means it's absolutely useless. We vaporize it, which does nothing, but it gets it out of our inventory. It saves you from just throwing it about the place. I suppose. Now, we got hurt there. We're going to use the surgery machine to get us back to full health. Now, don't be too comfortable using these, because later on, well, you're going to find them very rarely. One of them is actually mined later on, and, well, you have to use it from across the room, which isn't very realistic, but if you actually go up to it, it explodes, and you die. These security cameras, they reduce the level of security on the level for each one that you hit, as well as a bunch of computer nodes that can bring it down. So it's generally a good idea to just break all of them that you find. We can open crates and such in order to pick up items. We picked up a frag grenade, and now we can just destroy the crate because it's in the way. Ah, you see about the physics? Yes, all the movement physics. It's so afraid that we're about to teeter over the edge that it just kind of doesn't know what to do with us and it juggles us about. This is an energy charging station. We just use the conduits to get our power up to max. I don't really use a lot of energy-based weapons in this game. I usually only use ammunition-based weapons because, well, wouldn't you? We've picked up an SV-23 dart gun, which it's like a needle gun, I suppose. And hey, we found some darts for it. And you notice we gained a little pip here in the bottom right. That's the ammunition kind of just growing, and it's all relevant to the color and then the level. So if we get enough of these, we'll go up to orange, and then if we go up again, we'll go up to green. It's a general indicator of how much ammunition that we have. But it took me a while to figure that out. Was that all the cameras in here? So it looks like a very old game, and when you first start to play it, it's the slowest, most awkward game in the world to play, but like, with the new version, it's very easy to just turn it into a basic shooter. It really is. Right, sorry about the harsh cut, but I just needed to find the music key, like the key to turn the music off. Because I think it's better if you listen to the showdown logs without music.
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. Today is the 6th day of November, year 2072. You are currently in the healing suites located on the first level. Level 2 contains the research laboratories. 3 houses the Department of Maintenance, and the storage cells are on level 4. The flight deck is on level 5. Level 6 holds crew facilities and executive suites, and level 7 is systems engineering. Level 8 houses the Department of Security. The bridge is located on level 9, and energy systems on level R. All levels can be accessed by the elevator in Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel Station.
Alright. I just really had to learn the key, because I'm going to be doing that whenever we find a log from Shodan, if I can. New log data stored. Now, this is good because you're met with a keypad here, and you don't know what to put in. So let's ignore that for now. And open up our data reader. We have data to read, we have emails to read, we have 2. But it's the logs that we want, and we've already picked up 2. One of them is the voice log that we just found. And one of them we picked up just outside of our medical bay, I guess. So let's read this log.
Shodan security's closing down on us. The elevators are frozen. Myra keeps saying that it's the cameras and the medical CPU core that Shodan's using these to hold onto the level. That's all fine, but I don't really see how it helps. The thing is everywhere.
So a lot of the people that worked on this game, I think, contributed to the voice acting. I'm not sure that they paid too many voice actors, really, and I believe that Terry Brosius was actually part of the music department for this game, which is why one of the one of the music tracks is eerily close to Nine Inch Nails, I think. I'm not really a fan of music in general, in terms of, like, popular bands, but I showed it to a friend who knew about Nine Inch Nails, and he was just like, this is just a rip-off of Head Like a Hole. So, we've got that to look forward to. But yes, Terry Brosius, excellent in this game, as well as all the people that worked on the music. Despite the fact that, like, it is kind of farty at first, isn't it? It gets better. So this is our log. Looks like Diego's happy with my work. They're firing up the sleep machine for me now. Gotta admit, when the goons from Tri-Op caught me, I thought for sure they'd take me offline. Instead, Diego just asks for a favor. Hack him into Shodan and all is forgiven. Plus, 6 months in a healing coma earns me a Cyberjack interface even Tri-Op's execs couldn't swing. I'll be king of the net. Even so, I've just handed the most powerful AI in the system to a fumbling corporate VP. I thought I said up. And there's no telling what'll happen. They tell me the coma leaves you foggy, so I'll leave myself some reminders. First off, the combo to the healing suite is 451. Second, I've stashed some useful stuff in the maintenance hatch under the grating north of the healing suite. Last and best, I finished the system analyzer, which will let me keep an eye on Shodan's processes. It's in the storage closet outside the machine. In 10 minutes, it's off to bed for half a year. Good night. Let me read that again. So, okay. I've stashed some useful stuff in the maintenance hatch under the grating north of the healing suite. You know what? I'm not actually sure I ever found that. You mean in here? You don't mean in here, right? I'm pretty certain he doesn't mean in here. No. No, of course not. Having a dumb moment. It's probably out there in the world. But at least we got the code 451. Which is... You know, you may have noticed that people are using the code 0451 in all of their games. It's supposed to be a reference to something, but I don't remember. Alright, now the game can start proper. I can stop being slow. Stop introducing you, and let's just get on with it. We need to put the massive oh, that's lucky. We got a battery already. We just get that and that goes straight into our inventory. And we can use that for, I think it's something like 20% battery. The range of the pipe at this FOV is kind of huge, and we can't neglect that. We got Group 1 access and a log. Let's open that up.
Gunther was killed today. I can't let myself think about it. I think I understand how Shodan is doing it. When we destroy the cameras and CPU nodes, Shodan loses some of its control over the station functions, at least on this level. I think I can restore manual control in the hospital.
So that's just kind of introducing to you the fact that, well, we can actually do something about Shodan. And that's by getting rid of the cameras. There's a severed head up there, and I think that's just for you to kind of notice and get creeped out by. Get some ammo for the needler. A frag and grenade, which will help, and 2 skulls. Again, useless items, but some items will have more use than you think. This is a hacking minigame. They range from ridiculous to really easy, and this is so easy that it's just switch the nodes on. Just do it. Just switch the nodes on and you'll power up the elevator. It's that easy. But we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to go have some fun. So we've got mutants aboard the ship. Yeah, that's good. Always a good thing to know. The good thing about the mutants is they spawn, like, very commonly. And they have a very high chance of dropping medical patches, which is great. Got some standard rounds for a pistol, so let's pick them both up. Pick up this log and play it.
Status report. We're holed up in the Beta Quadrant behind a radioactive trench. The mutants are scavenging for food in the corridors and nesting in Gamma. I sent a party to the West Wing for supplies maybe 12 hours ago. Nathan Darcy is thinking up ways to disable the mining laser. It looks like we might hold them off.
Yeah, don't tempt fate, my dear, please. Got a severed head here. Put that in our inventory, and we can actually get a very good look at it. Nice. Now that's all well and good. Use right-click to get it out of our inventory and just throw it across the room. Disrespecting the dead, of course. That's all well and good, but... Sorry, having a bit of a mind blank. Hang on, I'll get there. That's all well and good to, like, disregard severed heads, but some of them you actually need for quests, and you can actually find the severed heads of a lot of plot-relevant NPCs about the place. It just takes too long to actually check them. So, for all I know, every single one of the people that has an audio log on this station has a severed head somewhere. It's interesting to note. We got our... Well, actually, no, we already had our compass, which doesn't take any power, and it doesn't really help, in my opinion. It's kind of distracting. We obviously have the data reader, but now we have Sense-Around, which uses energy, and it only updates every few seconds. You can upgrade it to be real-time, and I must say, that's really gnarly how they've done that. The only problem with it, it sucks. I could see it being used in, like, a 4K game. You know, where you can put a really small, picture-in-picture window about the place. But not in this game. I would rather just look around using my special eyes. How much ammo do I have? Ah, we've gotten all the way up to orange, so we do actually have a somewhat decent amount. You can shoot while you operate the HUD, which kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to aim. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Usually, this is how I shoot. It's kind of Halo in the way that the crosshair is lower down the screen. Got a medipatch from him. And yeah, I'm able to just easily reload with the click of a side mouse button now. Which is going to revolutionize the way I play this fucking game. Oh, I love how it just says hidden door. There is something that you can turn on in options. Or is it online help? But it's going to probably be a little bit distracting. Yeah, you get prompts like this from your HUD. Which I think is actually kind of neat. But I'm not sure if we should use it or not. But it might even just... no, it didn't. I thought that it would point out all the secrets to us. I guess not. Let's turn it off. Resume. Get some... I do hope that that wasn't the secret stash I was talking about. I think it might have been this, the few grenades that we found.
If any survivors can hear me, please. Some of us are still resisting Shodan. We have a sanctuary in Beta Quadrant, guarded by a radioactive trench. There's a force bridge that operates off a wiring panel. If you're coming in from Alpha, our guards will extend the bridge for you. Be very careful. Mutants are all over the corridors. Good luck.
Thank you, Garen. The one thing I love about the audio logs in this game is, since they're all dated, if you had the time and patience and you got every single one of the logs, got in a completely quiet area, and sort of recorded them all, one by one, and then sorted them, you could have a very clear kind of picture of what's actually going on in the station. Engineer's report. Arnold Hessman, 22nd of September, 2072. As I feared, Shodan's malfunctions are manifesting in Citadel's cyberspace net. Several storage lockers and rooms have been sealed, with their controls put on cyber toggles, only accessible in cyberspace. Also, some codes to sensitive areas on the station have been encoded onto loose data fragments. So basically, your password is just kind of being spammed around the station. Although all station personnel capable of entering cyberspace have clearance for those codes, I'm very concerned about the potential security hazard. I'll try to have Shodan introduce defensive programs into cyberspace to keep potential intruders from the floating data and cyber toggles. So, this guy, what is his name? Arnold Hessman? Thanks, Arnold. Now we have to fight everything in cyberspace. So you simply double-click one of these cyberspace terminals in order to go into cyberspace, and this is it. On normal mode, you kind of don't have that much control over what the hell you're doing. You just kind of move forward slowly, and you can speed it up, but you can't slow down. That's the issue. Camera control is also wonky. This is an exit portal, so let's not get close to that. Healing... What is that? That's a data fragment that we can read, so let's just pass through it. Level 1 elevator has been taken offline, Shodan security block established 4th of November 72. So they're all a bit vague, but hey. Got recall software, which puts you at the beginning of the map. New data object acquired. And a pulsar software acquired. Now, pulsar is just what we use for damage. We have pulsar and we have drill, and it's very hard to, like, max them all out. We get taken along with the current in cyberspace, so sometimes you'll enter a zone and you just won't be able to do anything except follow it. And let's get into our first cyber battle. That's it. That was it. These things are mines, by the way, not burgers. And you can also get little fun games to play, which aren't very fun. There's all things like tic-tac-toe and ping. Got decoy software, which I'm not actually sure what that does. Another recall software. There's not really much else of value in this room. You can use keys to kind of like rotate yourself around and reorient yourself, but it can get very confusing very, very quick. So let's go in here, shall we? I'm hoping that cyberspace is way better in the remake, because I saw like only a glimpse of it, and it did look okay. Let's take care of the enemy in here by actually getting up to him. And he's gone. Was that everything? This information node. Medical security door lock. What does that mean? Hospital level security doors opened. Last but not least, we have Pulsar version 2. So our shots will all be a little bit stronger. There's data fragment here, let's ride into it. Shodan security presence controlled by CPUs and maintained by security cameras. Again, just another kind of incentive. Go and do that thing. Go and take care of the cameras. Reduce the security. Now, you may notice, with the Enhanced Edition, they changed the draw distance to be fucking huge. And I am of two minds about this. For one, it's very distracting and confusing, but it's beautiful at the same time. So we can pretty much see most of the game. I think you can actually see Shodan way before you're supposed to in some levels. It's really interesting. But we're out of there. And do you remember that medical access card? well, that kind of just... We didn't need to do that. In a lot of ways. What is this? An X-ray machine. Let's not disturb that, then. Although I am looking for these sort of computer nodes. That wasn't one of them, I don't believe. But I could be wrong. So this opened up from our exploits into cyberspace. We got a stim, a med stim, and a mag pulse. Now, a mag pulse... Well, a mag pulse essentially is a very much anti-armor weapon. It's an energy projectile weapon. I don't like the mag pulse because it's too slow. I like to have kind of just like... what's the term for it? Hit scan weapons? I don't know. Oh, there's two down here. There's normally only one. Maybe I've just taken so long. We have sight vision enhancements, which might help at some point, but not very not very often. Let's take the ammo out of that and then throw it on the ground. We can't dual wield them, so more is the pity. This is the door to the elevator. It is locked. So let's carry on. As we get farted at, turn even more lights on. We're gonna lean around the corner here, and you see this guy here? Yeah, we don't want to get seen by him, but we can just shoot the very edge of his hitbox in order to damage him, and avoid damage ourselves. If we get too banged up, we'll just go back to the med bay. Eventually you get projectile shields and such, which are very helpful. Take care of that guy up there, walking along the balcony. There's a whole bunch of cameras up here, and, well, hitting them with a melee weapon is very awkward. You have to aim way below where you think you do. There's a force door here, we can't do anything about that. But I'm having trouble stepping around the place, so it must mean that there's something wrong with the floor. Haha! What do we get here? We got tranquilizer darts. Don't bother. There's a lot of useless weapons in this game. I'm hoping in the remake they get redesigned. But absolutely useless tranquilizer darts. I've never found a use for them. Same with the riot gun. You think a riot gun sounds great, but really it just kind of launches beanbags at people. And you can kind of knock mines around with them, but that's never useful either. So swap to the dart gun. Lean around this corner gently, gently. Take that guy out. Swap to the mag pulse because there's a big blue boy here. I got it. Again, I don't like the mag pulse. It's going to be a while before we start getting ammunition for it. So, as soon as we actually get to the point where we do start getting ammo for it, I'm going to be throwing the damn thing away. Take care of these cameras. Loot this gent. Hidden door. Got a nitro pack. Again, I don't use a lot of the grenades too often. Oh, I didn't even hit the camera that time. I hit the monitor. Which I suppose is all well and good. Because there is... Every now and again you will see the face of somebody on one of the monitors, and I believe a walkthrough once told me that it was the face of somebody who has given in to Shodan, urging people aboard the ship to join Shodan's army. Which is kind of creepy. This door is broken beyond repair. I don't even know where this door actually leads, or whether you can ever get it open. But we can't use the broken lever. That's gonna irk me now. That we can't get through. You can kind of see through when you lean, but there is nothing in there. It was always meant to be just a broken door. Another hidden door, we can draw energy from that, although there's no point. System status display lever. "98% of the life pods are jettisoned, and 3 of the eco pods still remain." That's the Groves, by the way. We're in orbit around Saturn. Cool. Not that far away from Earth, then, in the grand scheme of things. This is a stun gun. I never use it. It's... Yeah, ain't for me, buddy. Medical report, Aaron Talbot, 29th of September 2072. Another 4 cases of the mystery virus were reported today. There have been increased rumors that this whole... Sorry, I've got a call. So, there have been increasing rumors that this whole mess is the result of a screw-up in the experimental biolabs, which I think is... Oh, where is that? The biolabs. Oh, I don't remember where the biolabs are, but I think it's relative to the Groves. Why the hell aren't they telling us anything that could help us cure the victims? My first patient, who came in 2 days ago, is starting to display unsettling physical deformities. Furthermore, he's not responding to any conventional treatment. I'll consult with Dr. Stackhouse tomorrow. I know she has 2 patients in a similar condition. So there was a sickness going around. So we have sickness, we have mutants. We have these kind of cyborgs going around. Yeah, I wouldn't leave a good review on, like, a Yelp or anything similar.
Alright, Althea. We can destroy the laser by firing it into the station's own shields. Isotope X-22 is stored in the science level, and we need to bring it down to the reactor level to power the shields. Then you turn them on, use the safety override code to enable the laser, and fire. The laser controls and my notes are on the science level, and the override code's in the science library. I have no idea how you're gonna do all this, but good luck.
So Nathan Darcy is important to the story. He essentially holds a lot of the answers early on in the game. And that is essentially a TLDR of how we're going to sort out the mining laser charging. So, the spark beam is a little like the pistol, except it uses energy. There's no point really in using anything except the high setting, I suppose. Got a personal access code for Nathan Darcy. I believe that's for his room up on a different level. But I could be wrong. I normally don't pay attention to, like, what key goes where, because usually everything just sorts itself out as you play. God, these elevators are strange. Nobody down that hall. So let's use it for a bit. 2 shots was able... 2 shots was able! 2 shots were able! Ow. To take them down in 1 hit. But these are also useful early on when you don't have a decent enough projectile weapon for just destroying cameras. We've got some needle darts here. Med and 2 berserks. Berserks can be fun to use, but this game overloads you with them and you don't really need them. Now, you remember that force field? We don't actually need to get it open yet, but why not? And we mess with it by playing a little game. Now, I'm not sure if this is all... I'm not sure how this effect was even created back in 1994. Because I'm pretty sure that they are actual cameras. Like, low-quality cameras and such. It's just interesting to me that that's even functioning. Ah, those are some good computer nodes. We'll have to get there, shan't we? It's being guarded, though. I'm still going to try and find these computer nodes. It's none of these. Should have really looked it up in a guide, really. So we're not really hurt. I'm gonna carry on.
The resistance faction led by Keith Swanson left a week ago. We found the mutants fighting over the remains this morning. We're caught between the mutants and the cyborgs, so I'm worried whether we can carry out Darcy's plan. We're going to send Alan and Carl through the cyborg territory to reach the elevator.
Sounds like these guys are just going on suicide missions all the time. I did not mean to do that. So if we enter this room, we'll get biocontamination, but that's not really too big of an issue. 10 LVP. No big deal. He had some pistol ammo on him. Got a med patch, a log, 2 more med patches. And then we leave. That's going to count down. There are things that you can do to get rid of that, like detox stims and such. You can also get protective suits later on. Some of them are very hard to find. They're hidden in plain sight, essentially.
Now we've got to get to the bridge and stop Shodan. Some of us want to go to the flight deck and escape instead. Hopefully, there's still some weapons in the armory we can use against the mutants. Todd Blankenship was able to get the combination, 705, from a security officer. We're gonna try for it tomorrow.
So let's remember the code 705. It's not really gonna help us that much. But hey, oh, I saw you. This game does have a sort of randomly spawning element to the enemies. However, at this early stage of this level, they are not randomly spawning. Are there any other cameras? You can tell the cameras on the mini-map by there being red dots about the place. And here we have a violent boy. I guess I can't destroy that. I don't know why they all explode. Now with my super stretch Armstrong hands, I can reach over there and grab the bullets. Yes, that's how it works. Now to climb a ladder, you can just kind of like walk up to it and hold jump, but it takes a long time. So if you hold shift while you do it, oh, you fly up there. Biological Systems Monitor version 1. And that's up here. It gives us numbers, but it's not really that useful. Like, it really isn't. I've never found a good use for it. Even with the improved versions, like versions 2 and 3 and such.
Without Alan. He says they took Alan into a room marked cyborg conversion, and now he's a cyborg assassin. Carl marked the room with the word here before he ran. One of the technicians says we can just flip a switch and make the converter a surgery unit again. With only 12 of us left, though, it may be an academic point. Maybe someone else should have been leader.
So they've been having some troubles, to say the least. Level security is now 80. Hopefully, that's actually enough for us to do some stuff. But whose head is this? Oh, grass! Oh, I'm sorry, girl. Just dump your head right back where it belongs. How about if I rotate you, you kind of become yourself again? Isn't that fun? So this... Whoa! I did not see you, actually. So this door just kind of has its own problems. So does the camera, apparently. There we go. Let's just turn the lights on in here. Can we... There we go. So that's one of the first locks that's actually restricted by Shodan security. If the security level is over that 80-something%, you can't actually tap the code in. And some things have like, you need to get it all the way down to 0% for it to even work. We have spark beams in here, grenades, and such. Landmines, which are atrocious, and they only really come into use, like, maybe once? And even then, they might not work, because their hitboxes are just kinda garbage. But hey! We're gonna go in this malfunctioning door at some point, just not yet. So let's have a good look around here. Against robotics, you can use things like the spark, because the dart gun is going to do minimal damage, but later on, bullet weapons do so much damage that it becomes a moot point anyway. So what's down here? Got a stand-up stimulant, got a dart gun with 5, so let's take the ammo out of it, throw it out. Oh hey, I remember this place. So yeah, we could have gone the opposite way. One of the things that kind of struck me about this game, Super Bunny Hop reviewed it at some point, and he said that this game is a Metroidvania before Metroidvania. And he's bizarrely right. It has a lot of this, but you just don't notice it a lot of the time. And essentially, like later when you need like certain protective suits, and you also need things like jet boots and stuff. You know, the comparison becomes kind of clear. So all we get from here is a stand-up stimulant and a chance at a med stim. Their drop chance, speak English, dude, is relatively high compared to a lot of other things, but you're not really going to be finding any secret items on people, just like every now and again you might come across, like, you know, a battery or a medkit or something like that. So it's not quite Metroidvania, and you're not really going to be getting any kind of vibes from any kind of, like, looter kind of games, like a Diablo or something like that. So there's not really much point to grind unless you just need, like, combat stims, really. But I did it once and got up to, like, a stack of about 70, I think. So our path is blocked here. This guy, despite the fact that this is a barred gate, it's completely opaque. Just gives us kind of a nosy at where we're going to be later on. And yes, I know, the music is bizarre. Let's go and get sick. More biocontamination. Yummy stuff. There's not much in there except for 2 frag grenades, so get them and then get out. We're going to use a stam-up stim so that we can just run forever, but eventually it's going to mean that we can do nothing but walk. Just wanted to make the trip as easy as possible. And I think that'll do us now. We can start walking again. Get a combat boost from this guy. Oh, yeah. Should have turned the lights on and shown you just how many bodies are in here. Good grief. Check them all for loot. It's not even loot. What is this, Borderlands? Check them for supplies, nonetheless. God, I don't know what it is about me today, but I just cannot speak the English. No new access is gained from that, so we must have had it earlier on. Our fatigue levels are really goddamn high after using that stab.
We're finished. Keith and the others went down the access corridor an hour ago to fight the mutants. None of them have come back. Soon the mutants will come for the rest of us.
I think I need to put, like, a stress as well on just how much easier it is to play this game nowadays. Like, God help me if I was to play the entirety of the game way back, where I didn't know how to reload, etc. You know, it just felt like... I don't know, have any of you guys ever played The Elder Scrolls 1 Arena? I mean, if you think more people have played Daggerfall, I bet, but I've played Arena up to almost the very last dungeon. I think I was almost done with the last dungeon, I can't remember. But I had pretty much all of the artifacts necessary. There's the first of our ninja assassins. I took him out from a distance, we didn't really get a good view of him, but we're going to be seeing more very soon. But yes, playing the original version of this was hell. And playing even the recent... even the less recent version of this, like the DOSBox version of this, the DOSBox Enhanced Edition, I'll call it. Even that was more painful to play than this. It's a joy to have this version, really is. I thought that they would just kind of... Fuck you, Shodan. Yeah, I thought that this was gonna... Oh! I'm sorry, dear, I didn't mean it. So this hidden door is blocked by Shodan level security, so we'll bring that down and come back. There's a nice Magnum waiting for us in there. Getting it a bit early. If we remember to go back there, that is. And here's where the music's gonna change and get very weird. Almost Silent Hill-esque in a weird way. Well, I guess I can't really explain the puzzles anymore, because in one move, really. Was that one, or was that, like, two? Wasn't actually paying attention. Get a battery. But yeah, it's... I know it's kind of hard to appreciate, but it's bizarre just how good this version of the game is. Like, you can play it with your hands. Like, it works. We've got our first aid kit. The first aid kits, they stay with the battery packs and such, and they restore you to full health. They're going to be annoying to kind of... Ugh, there's kind of a... Something I don't like about this game is, like, constantly having to fight over what the hell you pick. Like, do you pick a battery? Do you pick a first aid kit? You will always want the other more than the one that you have. Take a big lean. Take care of that guy quick. Oh, he fell off. They aren't affected by the radiation, for whatever reason. We'll be going down there soon. But for now... Oh! Oh dear, there's two of them. I missed one.
We got the supplies from the West Wing. Hanson and Rain killed by mutants nesting the access corridor. We can't just hide here. They're killing us one by one. In an hour, about 20 of us are gonna rush them. We'll try to break through the access corridor, then go for the bridge. If we fail, God save our souls. I must be one of the last ones who hasn't changed. Shodan must have altered the healing machine I installed in Alpha Quadrant. It does things to people now. I think I saw Beth yesterday, but she had so many implants I couldn't be sure. If I can get to the machine, I know I can set things right again.
So I'm stoked for the remake because I want to hear their reinterpretation of this weird-ass music. The music they've got for the remake is really damn good. Like, I believe that they have a big preview of it on their SoundCloud. Night Dive has a SoundCloud that you can check out. And they very clearly have things like combat music and everything. It sounds great. Got a frag grenade, and from this cyborg assassin, just some needle darts, a first aid kit. You can lean all the way without actually getting radiated. But there's not really much else in this place. I don't know why I'm being so sheepish with this. I mean, I may as well just drink it all up, you know? Lovely radiation poisoning. 24, 20-ish LBP. Not a big deal. I don't know what LBP stands for, actually. We could offset all of this with a Medistim, but we'll only do that if we're, like, really desperate. We also have an extra first aid kit. And I see a cyborg assassin. Eventually you learn the stationary placements of enemies really, really simply. Quickly, I should say. They're very easy to learn. And I know that this might seem a bit weird for a lot of viewers, but, like, this, to me, is a game that you can just pick up and just have a quick game on. It's not exactly, you know, Peggle Deluxe, but hey. There's a secret down here, a secret lift. So 2 gas grenades, and gas grenades, I'm wondering if anybody can help me with them, because is there any point to them? Like, at all. This switch just opens and shuts that gate. Because I don't think that there is really much of a point to them. Now, this is where a lot of the enemies start respawning, and you can start grinding them a little bit. You shouldn't worry about ammo, you will have plenty. So you can afford to be a little bit wasteful. Don't worry yourself too much about that. Just don't shoot the fucking medbay, whatever you do, because it explodes really easily. And we are healed. Oh gosh, yeah, you guys spawned quick. They also spawn behind the secret walls a lot. They're very fond of doing that. So, be careful. Let's get back to where we were. Well, I would. But the enemy keeps respawning. Hey, we got 2 in 1 there. Nice one. Oh! Oh yeah, I did check this out. However, an enemy can spawn in here. So, it's always nice to check. I've just realized I haven't fucking saved! Could you imagine if I ate shit here and just... oh, gosh. Right, so I need to remember to save a lot more frequently. And not be as brave. Could you get up there? Okay. So that was risky. That was a big risk. You're gonna have to be a little cheap with some enemies when you can afford to be. Because they can just... They can hit scan you, like, immediately. As well as you can do the same to them with certain weapons. Get your Doom music going. That music is just the warning music telling us that we've sustained damage. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Alright, and that is the power of a Berserk Stim. It turns a regular pipe into a killing machine. However, it... you know, it might knock you out for a bit. Whoa, no. I haven't even activated the respawn point. I don't want to die just yet, thank you. So since we don't want to die and get a game over just yet, let's go inside this room that we cleared out. Wasn't there another one in here? I guess not. And if you've been paying attention to the logs, we can just flip a switch and turn the cyborg units into regular healing units again.
Cyborg conversion cancelled. Standard station restoration procedures online.
So this is kind of a lore point. You can actually just be brought back to life in this universe. The only issue is, as soon as you enter a new level, you're kind of in danger, because you can't do that until you actually manually change it. Oh, there's something that we haven't checked. It's down here.
Camera activating security door.
It's not much of an event. It's just one fight with a guy who clearly doesn't want it. 2 batteries. And a camera. And that's necessary for getting 100% security clearance. Oh God! I wondered where you were. You see, that would have been game over if we hadn't activated the respawn point. And yes, as bullshit as it is, these guys are absolutely silent whenever they shoot. But it's okay. I didn't see you! Oh God, we're hurt. We are hurt bad. I think we actually get some kind of radiation if we walk in there, so let's not. Let's just kind of grab, with our enormous hands, reach in there and just take... We got a concussion bomb as well from this little vent.
They're trying to jam transmissions. We have some new evidence about what happened. It looks as if Diego had...
I prefer a quiet station. Thank you.
This elevator serves me alone. I have complete control of this entire level. With cameras as my eyes and nodes as my hands, I rule here. Insect.
To all cyborg units, just as
We have sanitized my
domain of human infestation, so shall we cleanse the earth. The tachyon mining beam is being made ready to
destroy human city.
I will take command of the
Rich earth.
ecosystem and continue.
My experiment. Destroy.
Once the beam is properly calibrated, we will begin.
We underestimated Shodan. It's reprogrammed regeneration rooms all over the station into cyborg conversion chambers. Anyone going in to get healed comes out as a cyborg. I've disconnected the medical CPUs from Shodan's main data bank, so we can reset them to their normal healing functions without Shodan noticing. I'm on my way now to reset the one on the hospital level.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're going to make it that far, but now we actually have a shortcut to the main hub where you get to kind of walk to Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. Which, you know, I have autism. And on top of that, there's a lot of things that I don't learn very easily. When I started playing this game, I had to learn what the hell Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta meant, and it's the most simple... It's the most simple thing. You'd think that I'd have picked it up by now, having played video games. But, no, that confused me. I had to kind of... And for some reason, there was a point in my life where I was like patting myself on the back, like, yeah, man, you found out what that meant. But I think the only thing that made it necessary for me to learn is that later on, this game does become sort of labyrinthine. Not amazingly so. It's not so convoluted that you can't play it. Like, for instance, again, Arena, or like a Daggerfall level. Because, God, those Daggerfall levels were fucking atrocious. As for the respawning... Oh yeah, this guy. This is alleged to be Edward Diego, and he's supposed to be, like, giving, like, a propaganda message to everybody, like, you know, join Shodan, etc. So let's just give him a good old smack on the bones. But I'm not sure how true that is. I'm not sure, like, what the developers intended, but it makes the most sense to me that he would be saying that, and it's not just some advertisement, like, have you been hurt in an accident in the last 6 years, and it was somebody else's fault? Well... tough shit. Life is hard sometimes, you know, nothing like that. This is another button that's kind of locked off from Shodan security, but we've been doing well enough to the point that it's already unlocked. Unfortunately, we already had this BioWare. Got 2 grenades from here, and I think that's everything from this little secret room. Not really a secret, but you know what I mean. So I believe that these little bays are supposed to be where people go to kind of get converted into a cyborg. I'm not too sure. They had limitations. I'm interested to see what they look like in the remake. Oh, fuck! Yeah, this is why you should lean around corners more, idiot. I don't have that much ammo, and now I'm...
You are not welcomed here. Remove yourself.
Okay, it's time to get a little bit serious. No. Blocking my shot. Alright, so that way is clear. Did I check all my logs? Yeah, I did. Okay. Got a nice little medipatch from there. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search this little area. We've got a turbo motion booster from that. I'll explain that in a bit. And take this healing agent. And what I'm going to do is, you know those mines that we picked up? We're not going to use them very often. Like, at all. So, I'm going to just quickly save the game. Just put a mine there. And if I stand here, put a mine there. Hopefully, that causes a chain reaction and when certain enemies spawn, just blows them all to hell. We can hope. Oh, fuck, I wish I had another one. I should have put one up there. Oh, piss. Oh well, it doesn't really matter.
Enter that room, insect, and it will become your prey.
Please don't hit the ceiling. Level security now 0%. And I heard explosions from behind me, so I think that mine worked.
Who are you? The computer nodes can be repaired, but you... Who are you? My cameras and probes scan your body, but you do not match any employee file. When my cyborgs bring you to an electrified interrogation bench, I will have your secret. And you will learn more about pain than you ever wanted to know.
Alright, I think we pissed her off. But everything's fine, because we got a pistol finally. So the way I like to sort my weapons is I right-click them to kind of put them further down the list. So I like to have the melee weapon, dart gun, pistol, because the dart gun still comes into use, like, even later on against organic creatures at least. But the pistol is going to be our bread and butter for now. We have Teflon, which is slightly more damaging and slightly more armor penetrating, and we have regular bullets. I'm going to be using regular bullets for now. The pistol is a godsend as soon as you get it. However, we have to do some riding now. So, some people say that this code never changes. There's a 6-number code and it never changes. Well, it is different every time I've played it, so I'm not sure whether it's just certain versions of the game only have, like, one code, but whenever you reduce level security to, like, a low amount, well, you get this code coming through on each level. So let me just scribble down. And you can make a map marker, I guess, if you really wanted to. But it's better that you have, like, a bit of pen and paper, and you just kind of jot it down. So, level 1, the code is 5. Whereas, the previous time I played this, the full code was 983695. Now, it's already completely different. So, let's keep that in mind. We have to do that for every level. And if you don't, oh, you're going to be pissed off with yourself. You are going to be so pissed. Right, let's see how many stragglers survived. A whole bunch. I can't throw a grenade down there, it's too narrow in height. It's just gonna hit the ceiling, it's gonna hit me, I'm gonna be... I mean, now that we've activated the... the healing... We've activated the healing equipment. It does respawn us now. We could just die and save ourselves some time, but... You know, we're trying to be good at this, you know? God, there's so many of them. And this is after our minds actually did some good work, by the way. And I think on higher difficulties there's a lot more of them still. Ah, yes, I thought that'd be... You see what I mean? It's a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Yeah, the mines took care of these guys down here as well. Whole bunch of Teflon rounds for us, so we'll be ready to fight any really heavily armored units. Of which there are quite a few. I just wish that the grenades were easier to throw, because they are essentially contact grenades, so if you throw them at the ceiling, they instantly blow up. It's not exactly how I think it's supposed to work, but hey. Alright, so with that being everything, let's quickly save the game, and I'm going to rush. I'm going to rush for the... Oh, where is it? The room where I said we'd get the Magnum. Oh. There's a boy trapped down there. He had a berserk stim, so that's great. Fuck you, Diego. If that is you. See, I don't even know if it's him. I'm just giving him a precautionary fuck you. Let's get ourselves healed up. Doesn't look like there's any enemies around here, but... No! God damn it, I wanted to go down. The Turbo Motion Booster has a whole bunch of settings. And I've changed the keys so, like, all of these upgrades are a little bit easy to use. The skate function, which is what we have now, it's kind of okay. It's the only one that I'd really use. Because the others are like boosters. I saw you spawn there, asshole. You can't just be doing that. What the hell? I know you're an old game and all, but come on, man. Skate only really works going forward, but it does help in a lot of situations. So on my keyboard, it's the 1 key to activate it. You could activate Booster as soon as you get the upgrade for it, but it's, in my opinion, it's just a downgrade. So let's go back to walking normally. Ah, here it is. Great! We got the Magnum, so let's pick up the Magpulse and the Spark and put it to the bottom of our inventory. So now we have the Dart Gun, the Pistol, and the Magnum all in quick succession of each other, I suppose. Which is nice. And with that, I don't think that leaves anything for us to do on the med level. If you're ever in a bind and you don't want to use your medical items, you can come down here to use the med bench and grind some medipatches, because, well, you might need them. I think that we're going to be fine, but... Oh, I remember my first, like, 2 playthroughs. I didn't even know that the shield... like, I knew that I'd picked it up, but I thought it was like a passive thing. I didn't know you had to activate it, so I was running back and forth to a med station every 5 fucking minutes. So, we finally made it to the elevator. That is the level done with. I think we pretty much have everything, and if we don't, then c'est la vie, you know. I guess that'll just have to... there will just have to be some stuff that we missed, eh? Alright, I'm gonna end it there before we head on to level 2. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.